Hi, my name is Beth Tumanello, Mrs. T Chem Talk Teacher Tech. I am making some videos that are hopefully going to be helpful for the possibility of remote learning. Just trying to share some of the things that I learned during the remote learning that happened in the spring. This channel also has a lot of chemistry videos on it and some other teacher tech videos. So if you wouldn't mind, please like and subscribe. And if you want to turn on notifications, you'll be obviously notified when I make new videos. This specific video is going to be about using CamScanner to submit PDFs to Google Classroom assignments. I generally go through this with my students a few times at the beginning of the school year because I do try to do assignments as paperless as often as possible. And especially with the possibilities of remote learning or trying to minimize contact of common items, this might be a good way for teachers to request their work to be handed in. And then I do have another video about using Kami with Google Classroom to grade the assignments on Kami, which gives you like a pen and paper feel. But again, this is about just the student submission. So again, this is going to be about using CamScanner. So the first thing is that you want to make sure that you have the CamScanner app. So if you do not have the CamScanner app, this particular video is going to be about using CamScanner on iPhone, but my students have told me that it is very similar on Android. But the CamScanner app is available for iPhone, it is available for Android, and it is also available on iPad. It is a free app. It does have in-app purchases, but most of my students just have the free version and that's what they use. I happen to have the paid version just because when I was able to buy it, it was a lifetime. They were offering a lifetime deal just for a couple of dollars. But many of my students, or I should say most of my students that have had it in the past, have had the free version and it's worked exactly like this. So the first thing is to open up the CamScanner app. You'll see these are all of the um, files that had been in my CamScanner app when I took these screenshots. And you're just going to tap this camera at the bottom and you're going to choose batch scanning if you're scanning multiple pages or the word single if you're just scanning a single page. So for batch scanning, which again, you would batch or single are your two choices when you're handing in an assignment, you want to make sure you center the page and you want to make sure that you tap on the phone to focus the page. I tell my students to really try to make sure that the page is as straight as possible to not get any strange shapes and things like that. Focus, tap the camera, and when you're in the batch feature, you will um, you will notice that it just keeps giving you another option to keep adding pages. So you're going to click on this down here on this page preview. And once you're done taking pictures of all your pages, and when you do that, when you click on that, you have an option to move these different dots here to get the page in and the background out. Normally, if you put this on a background that contrasts with the pages, you can generally, the app will generally take that out. But I do ask my students to crop out their desk, their counter, whatever else might have been behind the picture. So once you've done your adjusting, your cropping, you are going to choose camera, which is on the top left, to complete. Once you do that, there gives you the screen pops up like this, and you're going to change your file name. I tell my students that I want them to put the file name, putting in their last name and then the assignment title, so that this way I don't just get a bunch of untitled in my Google Classroom. Even though it comes up as their name, it makes it a lot easier when I'm in Google Classroom scrolling through if each file name has their name in it. And not a lot of them, without being prompted, would think to put their name on the file this way. Then you're going to tap done. And after that, you're going to click the finish to make the PDF. So now you have this PDF in your CamScanner app. I also ask my students to watermark, to add a watermark. And by adding a watermark, what's going to happen, or what I'm going to ask, I ask them to add a watermark and to drag that watermark to the top of the page and to put their last name in the watermark. So once again, when I am in my other app, which I happen to use another app to grade a digital assignment, I use Cami, which I do have a video about Cami, but I use Cami to grade this. If I'm going through a lot of different ones, I can just see the last name and know whose work I'm looking at. And maybe depending on the student, there might be certain things that I'm looking for to help them with or to make notes on if I can just keep their name in mind. Once they have this watermark and their last name up there, I tell them the next thing is to click save. And after they click save, they're going to click share at the bottom of the screen. So what they're going to notice is that any of the pages that they added into this PDF, which theirs now up here should be called last name assignment, and the top of each page should have a watermark with their last name. They're going to share it, and they're going to pick PDF to share it. So if they share it as a PDF, on my phone, I've added this. If Classroom is not an option, they can scroll down to the bottom. There's going to be something that says more, and just make sure that Classroom is toggled on to green. Once they do that, they can select Classroom. They can tap at the top of the screen to right in here. I'm sorry, right in here to switch which class they're in. So this was from a prior student's phone, these screenshots. So you tap on the class that shows up, then you get your class list. You tap on the class that you want to share it to. And then the next thing you're going to do once you're in that class, you're going to click attach to assignment, and you'll be able to scroll down in the app to pick an assignment to attach it to. So these were the options. So perhaps this was the homework for the whole unit. Then you would tap on that and you would attach it, and there would be this little screen would come up to attach it. Once it is done attaching, you click mark as done, turn it in, and that would be the end of it. So this video, hopefully you found it helpful. It was for helping your students use CamScanner to submit a PDF to Google Classroom on an iPhone. If you thought this video was helpful and you'd like to see some other teacher tech videos, you can certainly go to my Mrs. T Chem Talk website, my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. Maybe you want to turn on your notifications to see if any more videos come up. I will be making more technology videos. Thanks a lot.